Alright, hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Demon God Jr. and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a discussion on the leaked Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer. Well, leaked in quotation marks because it was up for a while. It was up for like a few hours, I think, and then they took it down. But someone at Square is going to get it talking to. That's not the point. Point is, I've been seeing a lot of things on Twitter from the KH community. Mainly people saying like, hey, I wish this was already in the game, or like, oh, this isn't really going to change KH3 for me, blah blah blah, or I don't know, a bunch of different opinions, a bunch of different viewpoints on the DLC that's coming out. Me, for one, I am extremely fucking hyped for it. Oh my god, I am so hyped. I cannot be happier. I'm so happy that we're getting so much more story so soon after KH3 ended. I thought we were going to have to wait at least another 2-3 years to get the same amount of story, but guess not. They had different plans. Originally, I thought this was going to be like other traditional Final Mixes in that they just add a few extra bosses, add cutscenes in the middle of the game, or sprinkle them out throughout the game to give a little bit more context to what's going on, rather than continuing the story after the final boss, which is exactly what Remind is going to do, which is awesome. It's so cool. I'm so happy that they're doing that. Anyways, like, I've seen a whole bunch of people being like, hey, just because it should have been, or some things should have been in the base game doesn't mean that it's a bad game or something like that. Well, yeah, it doesn't mean it's a bad game, but people are still allowed to think like, hey, I wish this was already out, you know? And there's nothing wrong with wishing that you already had something great. Like, I don't know. Like, for me, like, I'm super fucking happy and I'm super fucking excited that they're doing this, but they could have they could have put it in. They, like, the thing with Square is, like, they're not that huge of a company. They are a AAA developer, don't get me wrong. It's just they spread themselves way too thin, and especially Nomura. Like, Nomura has so many different projects going on, like, all the time. And that's just how Square Enix runs. And because of that, he had to focus on a lot of the Final Fantasy stuff, and then he was like, wait, no, let me finish Kingdom Hearts 3, so he came back to it. And then once he's done with that, then he focused. Now he's focusing completely on Final Fantasy, I believe. I could be completely wrong, but either way, Square Enix doesn't have that many workers, and the workers that they do have, they're all top notch. So of course everything that they're going to put out is going to be high quality. Is just the way that gaming culture is nowadays. Companies are okay with releasing an unfinished game and then over time sprinkling more and more content into the game to make it even better. Prime example, Final Fantasy 15, No Man's Sky, Sea of Thieves, Halo Master Chief Collection. They just did that now. So a few of the COD games, Fortnite. I don't know. Those are just a few of the top of my head. Like that's just how gaming culture is. Star Wars Battlefront. You know, like, every single game is not gonna be complete. Like even like Smash. Like, the full roster isn't in the game. The final roster that they have in mind, they're sprinkling out throughout the years so they could lengthen the lifespan of the game. Like, that's just a normal thing companies do, you know? And in this case, Kingdom Hearts fans were extremely grateful. However, a few of the things they had time to add, or they could have done the story a little bit differently instead of cramming everything after you beat all the Disney worlds. But then again, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe Disney was like, hey, you can't have your nonsense fucking with our worlds. So, I don't know. I'm not sure. Either way, I'm extremely grateful we're getting new stuff. Either way, I am going to buy it. I'm super hyped, you know. like I have no problem buying it. It's just like, whatever. That's just how gaming is, you know. That's just how it is. It'd be like that sometime.
However, I am extremely excited that they are continuing the story rather than just
doing what they did with the other Final Mixes and adding stuff to the story they already had. Like KH2, for example, like the original base game, you can understand the story 100% without any of those extra organization meeting scenes. Like, all those scenes did were just giving you the conversation before the events actually happened. So it's kind of just like adding a scene to, like, I don't know, like Spider-Man Homecoming or something, Spider-Man Far From Home, where he explains to Happy, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go do this and this and this, and I'm gonna try to do this and this and this, and that's how I'm gonna take down Mysterio. It's like adding that scene in. Like, yeah, it's cool that it's there. Yeah, it's interesting to see the background of it, but, like, it's not really necessary for this story. That's what I'm saying. KH2 post-game, however, I saw me and HMK got into a little thing. It was just like two tweets back and forth. It wasn't like an argument or anything, but he pointed out that Kingdom Hearts 2 didn't have any post-game compared to Kingdom Hearts 3, where neither of them really had any post-game. Like, for Kingdom Hearts 2, like, I usually play through all the Disney worlds, do the second visits, and then I go to beat Xemnas. And then after I beat Xemnas, then I go back and do all the Coliseum stuff. Then I go beat Sephiroth, and then at that point I'm done. But in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, you have all of that, then you have the Cavern of Remembrance, and then you have all the data organization, and you have Lingering Will, which is good. But even then, that's still a little bit of tiny post-game stuff. Kingdom Hearts 3, on the other hand, they only had those 13 battles and one secret boss. Like, okay. there wasn't like a bunch of mini games you could do, and then the ones that they had, like, it was just 100 Acre Wood, which was the same game over and over again. You know, I can't even think of any other mini game, like the Frozen stuff. I guess, like, you had to go down the same track over and over and over again to get these the pieces to make the Ultima weapon, which is annoying more than fun, in my opinion. I don't know. It's just like everybody plays Kingdom Hearts different. So, like, me, for base Kingdom Hearts 2, like, I had more post game stuff because I put stuff for me to play after the game. Like, I didn't go to the Coliseum every time it said, like, hey, the Coliseum's open. No, I waited because I was like, oh, well, I want to breeze through it all in one sitting because it's fun like that for me. You know, it's just the way that I did that. But if we look at explicitly post-game stuff for Kingdom Hearts 2 base, I kind of really can't think of anything. Like, I can see where it's coming from, but for Kingdom Hearts 3, there is explicitly base end-game content. So, you know, that makes sense. However, the difference is, like, Kingdom Hearts Remind is not a final mix. This is finishing the story that the Kingdom Hearts 3 made. And I thought that whatever's going to take place in Remind, whether it be getting Sora back, or establishing the next saga, I guess, I thought they were going to do this in a completely new game, but they're just making it a probably like 3 to 8 hour experience, maybe like 1 or 2 worlds length of content. And yeah, that's cool and all, but I don't know how I I don't know. Like, for me, like, I wanted personally, I wanted a final mix that added a whole bunch of stuff during the game, cleaned up a few of the story points, moved them around a bit, change it up, clean it to make it like a more better paced story than base Kingdom Hearts 3. I wanted them to do that, add a few more cutscenes, see more Shion, see more organization stuff, see more Aqua, Ven, blah blah blah, see what happened with Terra and the Lingering Will. I wanted to see all that stuff. And after I saw that, I wanted it to end on the cliffhanger once again, where Sora's left in limbo and we had to figure out how to get him back. And now that secret ending really isn't an ending, it's just it's kind of just like, hey, here's a teaser for the DLC that's gonna come out in a year, and then that DLC is gonna continue the story of Kingdom Hearts 3, which is kind of odd. You know, this never really happened before in Kingdom Hearts. It's different. I accept it, and I'm excited for it. I just don't know, like, I don't know if it's the best way to go about it. If anything, I feel like this is kind of like a Kingdom Hearts equivalent, like Halo 3 ODST kind of, where it's like it's still under the Halo 3 name, but the subtitle is a completely different story with completely different characters. But in this case, it is with our main characters. We're introducing Yozora. The Final Fantasy characters are back, which is really cool. But all of this is still continuing the story rather than adding to what we already had and fixing whatever issues people had with the story. And that's just how Nomura is. Instead of going back and adding things to clean it up like they used to now, Nomura's just throwing more shit at the wall and just to make it stick. Like, look at Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key or Union Cross now. My bad, but fucking Union Cross, like they just keep throwing more and more information, adding more and more lore, more mystery, more this, more that, all just to clear up the story. But the more they further explain things, the more confusing it gets, which is super fun and super, like, it keeps people invested. That's why there's so many Kingdom Hearts fans. But like for Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, like, I don't know, it's just like I wanted Kingdom Hearts 3 to be better paced rather than having them continue. That's just my personal opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm super excited nonetheless because I love Kingdom Hearts, and the more story, the more new shit we get. Like, I'm fucking there for it. I'm hyped, you know. But don't shoot people down because they have an opinion and they feel like things should have been different if they were running it. You know, like everyone's entitled to that opinion. You know, that's just how it is. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I'll be making more content in the next few weeks and whatnot. Hopefully Kingdom Hearts related. I've barely been keeping up with Union Cross, for example. Like, I don't know anything about that, but this Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, I'm gonna watch it a few more times. I'm gonna make some theories, because we only got like a month and a half until it comes out, so like I'm gonna try my best. Anyways, hope you guys have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, whatever, night. And I'll see you guys in the next one.